And before I begin, I want to try to go apologize to Marie. I just noticed that one of Maureen's routes was in the thing, but I was able to take it out, but I did not remove the feed. So maybe if I'm gonna have to let Maureen know about it. But anyway, welcome to the show.
I don't know. I can't read. What is Charles says? You are reminded what? Nominate. You are nominated what?
Oh, he's nominating Charles.
No, that's Charles. Charles saying something. Amy is nominated for the fact checkers.
Yeah. So what's up, Charles?
I got it.
What's up, Amy?
Now, Bobby and I were having a pre-show discussion. We're going to keep that out of tonight's discussion because we don't want to piss anybody off, including ourselves. So we're going to keep nice and polite and respectful, as we always do. We all have our own opinions and our own thoughts and our own ideas. But let's be friendly tonight. All right, deal.
Yeah.
Agree with that. Bobby, what are you doing there?
Yeah. It's just like
The old fashioned checkers. You mean like the old fashioned checkers game, or what about when they made it the Chinese checkers and you played Chinese checkers for the first time? That was like a game I understood you had to get across the board at least one marble into the color that you had. But I don't know. I don't know if I like that any better than regular checkers. But Chinese checkers, if anybody never played that, you need to try it at least once. I'm watching our cops are trying to pull over this U-Haul truck full of something with doors open. I don't know what they're running from, but they're running from someone. Well, the cops right now. But they're going to do a pit move with the door open. No, they're not going to do that with the door open. Come on. That's not even right. Looks like the door's open. The origin of the game checkers. Okay, I can't even hardly see that because it's too small.
Yeah, the origin of the game checkers, also known as draughts, it traced back to ancient Egypt and Rome. There is evidence of a game similar to checkers dates back to 3000 BC in Egypt when it was played on a board with squares alternating between black and red. It was later expanded to Greece and Rome, where it became popular among the Roman legions. From there, it continued to evolve and spread through Europe, eventually becoming the modern game of checkers which we know today.
Now, what about the game Chinese checkers with marbles? Which I think that's probably older than the checkers. Look that one up, Amy. See that now? Amy fell right into that fact checker slot. She suggested it. Charles nominated her, and there she is. She got her job.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Chinese go. What do you mean by that? Chinese go. So I remember the Chinese checkers game that we had. It was metal. It was round. And the safe zones or whatever, or the start zone or safe zones, whatever you want to call them, they were the color of the marbles, usually red, blue, green, and yellow, and they were triangles. Okay, imagine that, triangles in a circle design. That made a lot of sense. But the spaces for the marbles, I can't remember how many spaces were in the triangle. but you had to get at least one marble across the board into your home safe zone across the other side of the board in order to win the game. And you only needed one marble. Yeah. Chinese checkers. Look it up. Real game. We played it. We played it right about the same time we played Monopoly. The original Monopoly. Yeah, back in the days when we had board games, we didn't have the internet. We had actual board games to play. They weren't boring. They were actually fun to play. Of course, usually we end up fighting over who won, but that's the way that goes. Okay,
Yeah.
so this guy's trying to close his door for the moving van. Okay, now I got it. So they're trying to tell him that the door was open. I don't know how much stuff he lost on the way. Oh, crap.
Here's the answer.
So the latch was not latched correctly. Now you gotta put a lock on that sucker, just make sure it stays latched.
Here's the answer.
He was lucky that guy stopped him. He might have lost his whole load out, everything he owned on the road. That was nice of him. 15 marbles per triangle. Thank you, Charles. Yeah, I can't remember. How did you decide who went first? Was there a die that was rolled? You rolled a 6-sided die and you had to go so many spaces, whatever the roll was? I don't remember. It's been so long since I played that.
Yeah.
But then a lot of the games that we played had dice or die. You know, like we had trouble. We had to give him trouble that you'd go along and get your going around to the home spot, but you'd jump your opponent, and then they'd have to go back to the start. Then you go all around. Once you got back to your home base, and you won the game. And that had a single die in the middle of the board. You push the button, and it would roll the dice for you, or die.
Okay.
So, okay, Charles has something there. Click on that one there, Bobby. The rules.
Oh. Yeah, the rules were you had to move all the marbles to the place on the opposite side. I think each player picked a hidden set of colored marbles.
Okay. How did you decide who went first? Well, I can't remember. I haven't played that game like for.
It's also.
Right. So we could have, like, if you had 2 marbles in a row, you couldn't jump them. It had to be only a single marble to jump. And I remember that. Much like checkers. If you're in a regular checkerboard, if you had 2 pieces that were right behind each other, the opponent couldn't jump and take both pieces. You could only jump one piece at a time. Okay, wait now. I think each player picked from a hidden set. Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, so like if you had the, yep. And whoever got their color, then they got to go. Yeah. Then they get to go first. I think I do remember that. And another game with marbles. Okay, who remembers the game Kerplunk? Anybody remember that game? Kerplunk? That game was dangerous, actually. It had plastic skewers that would go into a plastic cylinder, and you have the marbles all in there with the skewers, and you pull out the skewers. The one with the most marbles lost the game. Usually it's one with the most marbles wins the game, but in this case it was one with the most amount lost the game. Kerplunk. That was a fun game. A little dangerous with them plastic sticks, so you can poke somebody's eye out. But hey, that was safe then.
Yeah. I remember cooties.
What is that one?
The cooties is like a first you gotta get the head and the body. Once you get the head and the body, then for each certain set you gotta try to build your blood completely in order to win.
Huh. Kind of like, in a way, kind of like the Operation game. With the figure of the man, when it was a problem you had to solve medically, you'd somehow take out or put in the part that needed fixing.
Well, operation was you gotta take the part out without touching the sensitive
Right.
area.
Yeah.
If you touch
Yeah.
that sensitive area, you're screwed.
Then buzz it. Now, of course, that wouldn't fly today because of the small pieces. People would try to eat them, and you'd choke, or you'd shock somebody with the shockers, and that wouldn't be any fun either. So all that stuff is out today. Yeah, it's too aggressive and dangerous. So
Yeah.
fun things that we used to have as we were growing up. But yeah, hey, we survived. And then we had if you remember do you remember the resin balls that were on a string, and they were called clackers? I had a
Yeah.
set of those actually. King
Yeah.
David would have used them to tackle his opponent when he was chasing somebody. All right, called a sling, with the rocks in it, and you throw it and you wrap around the person's ankle, and you go and get your opponent or enemy. In these days,
Yeah.
it was called clackers, though, which was a safe toy. And I had a set, and about the first time it hits you in the head, you realize that ain't that safe. And then you left them hanging on the wall somewhere. You didn't play with them again after that, because those resin balls, they hurt like hell when they hit you in the head.
Yeah.
Mumbly, I don't know what that one is. No, what is that one about? Sure, that one. I remember anybody.
Oh no, Mumbly Peg.
Yeah, anybody watching
No.
that or reading this later or seeing this or whatever, please don't try any of these games that we might be talking about, because they are dangerous. Some of them are, and we did survive, but I wouldn't recommend it for today's anyone today's world, just because it wouldn't be a safe thing to do. So, Mumbly Pig, explain that one.
Yeah. Throwing and sticking the knives on a board.
And bowls. Wait, put that
Like
on the.
sticking
Make,
it,
make
like
it.
throwing and sticking the knives where? Like on like a board or something?
See, we used to have lawn darts, which again, that was a safe thing that they had. They said, "Oh, lawn darts are safe. Let's develop that for kids." And you throw them up, and you see them stick in the ground. And the
floor or the ground.
yeah.
Oh, like a point.
Oh, so then you'd have it like a target area, and you'd have to have the knife land in that target area, like almost
Yeah.
like
Oh,
a
it's gotta be
hatchet.
near your feet.
Oh,
Oh
yikes!
no. Oh hell no.
No,
Hell no. Hell no.
that's worse than lawn darts.
Hell. Um.
That's worse than lawn darts. I mean, lawn darts were big and they are heavy, and they come down. If you're standing under it, you're dead. So
Screw. Yeah. If I'm gonna get injured throwing a blow dart war or get or get like bam, get a knife on your heel or
When we're not going to do
something.
the knife thing, Bobby, I'm not going to do the knife thing. No way.
Me neither. Me neither. I ain't shucking any money to the ER because of some stupid thing like monthly pay.
Oh. I mean, one thing if you're doing a laser tag or even if you're doing paintball, at least then you kind of expect that to hurt, you know. But
Toys that were recalled because they were too dangerous.
there's a few of them. Yeah. I remember this one toy we had a toy you can get. Disney made it, I think.
Yeah.
And it was a copter thing, but it was a toy, you know, like a Tinkerbell character, you know. I remember it was pink and it was some kind of thing like a fairy, but it would fly and it would be on a twirly stick, and you pull it up, and the thing would go flying way high in the sky. Now that thing would put
Yeah.
your eye out if you weren't careful.
I
Okay.
remember pull string.
Yeah.
Sometimes I pull it so hard the string breaks and it's game over.
Game over. Waste of money and time. Oh man, everybody else having fun with it, and you done broke it.
Yeah, I didn't even want a chemistry set. I mean, I got it, but I sold it.
Yeah. Charles, you mean both. We had the chemistry sets, the ones with the real chemicals in it that they gave us, so we could actually make a small, like a firecracker, basically.
Yeah.
They would never say a bomb or anything like that, obviously.
Yeah. I remember having my very own microscope and maxoscope. You
Yeah,
remember the maxoscope, they have projector
yeah.
that can
Put Amy's thing up there. First
yeah,
one.
like you put it under a slide, you turn on, the projector comes on, and everybody will be able to get to see what's like. I did blood samples with it. I did I did just about anything. Anything.
Okay, Amy Fisher Price, Rockin' Party Sleeper, whatever. What was that one
Yeah.
about?
Okay, so let's see, you got
Up on top. The Fisher
okay, so
Price.
you got the Rock and Play Sweeper, Kills the Babies.
Yep.
You got Thomas and Friends, Banana Toy, Choking
Oh.
Hazards because of small net. Okay.
Oh wow.
Potential failure to discharge during emergency. Oh wow, kitty fire. Why would you make a fire extinguisher for kids if you're gonna do such
No, I
crap like
think Kitty was the name of the company. It wasn't necessarily for kids.
yeah? But that later got fixed when it comes to hoverboards. That later got fixed. And ultimate oven. Oh, the ovens.
Oh yeah, the Trent Easy Bake Oven. Love those.
Yeah, I would never would have an easy bake. I would never even have Power Wheels. You remember Power Wheels?
Yeah, I didn't have those either. And now we
I
did
mean,
have a mini bike with a real gas engine. Had the 5.5 horsepower engine. That thing would do in the backyard. It would do over 20 miles an hour in the short backyard that we had. And I actually ran into the house without a helmet. That's where my problem is. See? Head injury, neck injury. Like, I didn't have any injury necessarily, but I mean, didn't help me any. uh,
yeah.
but imagine running into the house full speed, and you don't stop until you hit the house. And that's probably the last time I rode that thing too. I did ride a motorcycle up that. I did wreck without a helmet as well on that. So that could be where some of my head issues are from. But with the chemistry, what was the funnest experiment that you did, Charles? I know we had some chemical stuff like we can make a volcano thing, something like that, and we did it without being too messy. We knew if we were messy, Mom would kill us. But wouldn't have to worry about the toy being safe or not. Mom would kill us if we messed up too bad.
Oh no.
So didn't have to worry about the toy being dangerous.
Yeah.
And you don't have that today. Kids aren't afraid of their mom anymore.
Yeah. You ever remember having BB gun wars?
We used to have rock wars, Bob. We would throw rocks at each other.
Yeah.
And like we'd have 3-on-3 in the backyard behind dirt mounds and trees and things like that, throwing rocks at each other. And the
Yeah.
BB guns and things were too dangerous. We had pellet guns. We had the pump action pellet guns and things like that, but that was too dangerous to use that for that purpose. We used to use those for the uh, hunting rabbits and things like that.
Yeah.
But
Did
we used to have rock fights and things like that. So
it
that
was
hurt when you got hit in the head with one of those.
yeah. Okay. So when we did BB gun wars, it was okay until it became not okay. The
Yeah.
last time it was not okay, the police was called. We had to turn in our BB guns. I was able to get mine back, but I didn't have no way back, and the only way was by walking, and I was for me trying to walk with a gun is like no, and this isn't going to work. So by the time I got back home, I just decided, fuck it, I'm just going to throw it away.
So now I
And
didn't
that
build any
was
electric chair. No, no electric chair.
why on earth you want to build a model electric chair?
I don't know. We had enough fun with some games that were shocking for sure. Some of
Oh
them
yeah, like
we
that. Oh yeah, we had. I didn't play it, but this is like they built a box with a taser, and you gotta take the dare of putting your finger between the poles, and one
yeah
dude would hit a button, and
yeah.
I'd be like, hell no.
Do you know what that is closely related to, Bobby?
What's
Do
that?
you know what the Church of Scientology does for the conditioning? They use
Okay.
electrotherapy, what they call electrotherapy, for conditioning their parishioners, so to speak. So that way they can conform their thought patterns to adhere to the church's standings, basically. Okay? Look
That's
it
more
up.
like brainwashing.
Scientology, their use of electricity to manage person's activities. You know, mainly to make sure they behave correctly. So, those shocking toys that we're talking about probably came from that church. Just a guess. Just a guess.
The now
Mm.
the 90s was funny. You have Furbies, you have robotic pets, and I mean, it's great if you want it, but it does get old when you gotta keep playing with it.
As switches. Yeah.
Now, with my Furby, you gotta take the freaking battery off, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna throw it in the trash. Fuck Furbies.
Yeah, Charles. We had a willow tree in the backyard, and when we got in trouble, my dad would make us. Seriously, my dad would make us go out to the willow tree, pick our branch, and we had to pull off the little branches and just have the little switch or whip, right? Then we had to, of course, show our bare bottom, and we got whipped with the branch. And when you do that a couple times, one, you learn not to get in trouble again, or at least not get caught. And you learn real quick what you can and can't get away with. And you learn that, that whip.
Oh,
That was a
no.
lot better. That was a lot better lesson than the belt, because the belt was thick, and you can usually end up tolerating that belt. And of course, then they said, "Oh,
Yeah.
you couldn't use a belt because it's against the rules of child safety and everything like that." But yet,
Yeah.
who's going to complain about a tree branch being used? You know what I mean? How you going to prove that?
Yeah. So we want to welcome Harlan Sampson into the chat.
Hi, Harlan. How you doing? Long time no see. What's been going on?
So we got Harlan, we got Amy, and we got Charles.
Yep, and we've been talking about the craziness of some of the toys that we had as we were younger, and how we survived so long with such heinous crimes of these toys.
Now, let me tell you this. When did you transition away from a Catboy Ray Tube TV to a more of a flat panel high definition TV?
Probably when it got too damn heavy to carry.
When I got my first flat panel I think it was in 2012. I just wanted like a flat panel because everybody else got flat panels, and I was getting one for Christmas.
See, now the one that I have now, I got it on sale at Walmart. I think it was Walmart, and it was like half price at, like, say, $300, right? And it's only 55 inches. It's not that big.
Yeah.
And it is up to date one for that time. Okay.
Yeah.
But now they got 65 inches at $3.99, I think I saw. And it's like, holy cow! But I don't know. I don't really have the space for that bigger TV, really. My TV is fine. I don't need any bigger screen than what I got.
When I moved to the apartments, I told my uncle that if I'm going to have a big room, I'm going to need a bigger TV.
Yeah.
I went up ahead, like they usually have TVs at the front of the store at times. I went up ahead and got this 32-inch Vizio TV for about $190. Now, should I have waited till today, I would have got a Walmart brand Roku TV for about $120.
Okay.
How crazy is that?
Yeah. That's crazy. And what is the size of the screen again?
32.
Okay. See, now that would be too small for me. My screen is 55, where it sits right now. How I see it right now, I can see it just fine. And I went from obviously I had a small TV, and then I had the 19-inch, and I had the 32-inch, and those were the older style TVs, big and bulky, and really, I don't think they'd even work today. For what we have in the connection situation. And so the flat screen TV is the only way to go.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. Raise your hand, and that includes the chat, if you ever had a 4-console television back in the olden days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We used to have that in our living room before moving to Patterson. It was going out anyway. And that was my grandmother's old pride and joy and we had it since way back in the 90s.
Yeah.
We even had a VCR that we sold.
Heck, Charles still had one, and I think Charles still had one in his living room.
Yeah.
Quasar, yeah, I remember Quasar.
Oh yeah, Quasar. I kept banging on a Quasar until it quit working, and that was my.
Oh, right beside the sign that said "Don't hit the cabinet."
That's it. That's it.
No, my dad had a Zenith. He had a Zenith before Panasonic became a thing. Zenith was the main thing. My dad used to build kit TVs, and so I think he built that one actually. It was tube TV. And I hope you're going well on your job hunt there, Herlin. Praying that you find just the right one that you like and that you can maintain and keep for a while. And with every day's changing in the job market, who knows what is going to happen today.
Okay.
So
now raise your hand if you back in the olden days you had an RCA TV.
Yeah.
Back in the CRT era.
Yeah.
The modern TVs today, they were good back in the CRT days, but when everybody went to flat panels, they began to suck.
So I think the first one that we had was RCA because that was black and white, obviously. And then we had the color, which was Zenith. Zenith came out with color. And that was like, oh boy, color. Not really a big deal.
Okay, so when I was a baby and moved across Springs, we had a Quasar. And we ended up getting analog cable. We had to have a cable box for our television. And it's going to be one of those turn dials. It was not remote control.
5-inch screen, Bobby? I mean, Charles, 5-inch screen?
Well, no, that's Amy. But yes, I think.
Oh boy, okay. I can't read that. I need you to read that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So.
Go ahead and show it, Bobby. Show it.
Yeah, 5-inch screens. A lot of people may remember the first set. We may not. We wouldn't have been around to remember such of these sets.
Well, I do remember them. Yeah.
Stereo combo tape player from a clock radio and a 6-foot cabinet.
Yeah.
I remember those as well, but we didn't get the hang of it.
We had that was, I believe, ours was RCA on the stereo as well, the original one. Yeah. And the speakers were amazing for the time. I mean, they were just big 12-inch woofers, basically. Okay. But they had the smaller speakers for the tweeter things, and all that stuff. And they had full range sound, not Dolby sound or anything like that. But I mean, for the time, it was the best that you could get. And you put in your, my dad used to listen to big brass bands, and, Lawrence Welk and all that stuff. And so we'd put that record on and let it play. Oh man, you can hear the whole thing through the whole house. Turn it up. Yeah. You can hear it pretty darn good.
So yeah, I think the first RCA we had,
mine wasn't in the 30s.
Yeah. So the first cable ready television was an RCA. Remember that you had to have a box and you don't have a box, and now we're going back to boxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got to have a box if you want cable.
First sounding speaker what? What's that?
No, I just throw my can away.
First sounding speaker what?
Okay. From the back was an upright CNET multiband AM shortwave with a 15-inch electromagnetic speaker.
Yep.
I don't know. Oh yeah. I think FM came around in the 60s.
Hey, there's Julie. Hey, Julie.
Welcome, Julie. So, yeah, we have popsicles, regular ice cream, pops, well, like fudge pops. We even had cupcakes, and we could have had a root beer float, but everybody like just left.
And where the hell did my cards go? No, I got them
It
here.
didn't. We So yeah. So
Oh, way over there. Oh, stretch. Oh,
yeah.
within reach. I didn't have to get up.
Damn.
All right. So now, what we had was, I'm not sure the brand, but I think it was possibly RCA. I'm not sure if Zenith made the stereo one or not, but I'm sure it was maybe RCA. But,
Okay.
yeah, it had the wooden cabinet. My mom used the top of the speaker section, and you had the centerpiece that opened up that had your AM and FM radio, had the record player, and might be the 8-track player in the older one.
Yeah. Okay. So. Oh yeah. Speaking of radios, I used to have one that is a Sony boombox. It had AM, FM, cassette, and RCA auxiliary inputs. So you should be able to plug like anything, like your Nintendo, if you want to get it from your boombox instead of your TV.
Yep.
So that's great. Yeah, so that was good. So, now what did I wanted to say?
Go ahead. Say
Yeah.
it.
When
Say
you
it.
first heard of cable television, when was it and why? Why did you get cable?
I was in an apartment, and that was the only thing that was available.
Now, did you not know when cable came around, it was not called cable. It was also known as community antenna. So they'll have like a farm of antennas, and you got all these lines coming around to a certain area, and that's how you was able to be able to still get television, even if they're out the receiving areas out of range. It actually expands the range. And I think you got paid for like the retransmission and stuff. And today you still got paid for that retransmission, but because that's what cable is retransmitted material that they have the rights to. Now it's still being done via cable and satellite in a different format, but now you got like internet television subscriptions. You got YouTube Plus, you got YouTube TV, Hulu Live, Sling, Fubo, Friendly. You got all
Julianne,
those. You
you
got
want to
all
read
of
them,
those.
I think.
Okay, yeah. So you got all those things down that makes you think, well, I don't need cable. I just need the internet, and I'll just pay them to watch my stuff. But yeah, okay. So anyway, before Ron gets mad and angry like I was yesterday, who wants a reading?
Well, I know Julianne does.
All right, let me blast you up.
I owe her at least one for today's reading, so now we'll be even.
All right, Ron gets mad today.
All right. So do 3 cards. 3 of the Oracle cards. This one comes up quite often. I don't know why. But here we go. I'll send you a picture of this, Julie.
Yeah.
That's your first one.
Make a decision.
So if you're number 19, make a decision. So yeah, if you're struggling with the decision, they're here to help. Okay. So just be ready. Hopefully that helps with your decision. Maybe not. You might not know for now.
Oh yeah.
And now I know from our previous conversations before, this will help you.
Mm-hmm.
Angels of healing are with you. What's
Yeah.
interesting is I said green for my color earlier when you were asking me what was my favorite color. And that would be a question for this chat here tonight. What is anyone's favorite color in general? What is your favorite color
Mm-hmm.
of the general basic colors?
Yeah. Yeah. So, oh yeah, West Virginia, 1960 to 62. He had an antenna on top of the mountain and ran wires down to town.
Oh, wow. And then this last one for you.
Oh yeah.
So if you're still working on the book or working on other parts of that story, get going.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Actual cable did not come in until the rise of satellites. Yep, that's true. Yep. So the first time you ever heard of cable, you have like cables at the
Well, and
receiving
zoom out.
at the known receiving area, and then you have wires going around to like the non-receiving areas, and that's how they get their content.
Ah, we've come a long way.
Yeah, because the transmission back then they only could do so much. So if you want others to get your content, it gets retransmitted to something called community antenna, and that was cable back then. But what Charles says is true. Modern cable did not come until satellites. Yeah.
Okay. Julie, help those help you. I don't know if they do or don't.
Yeah. I mean, I remember having only 20 channels.
20.
And before we left, we had up to about 40. And then we moved to Berwick and we had up to about 70.
Okay, Julie, let me know if you get that safely.
And since the digital era, we can get like up to about 1,000 channels
Yep.
if you want to get them.
Right.
Yeah.
Now they just
Yeah.
added extra channels to my direct TV. And I got HBO or something like that, which I already had. I don't know why they're making a big deal about me getting HBO when I already had it.
Probably the
Oh,
Max stuff.
well, no, I had Max too, though. All right, who's next in line then?
Yeah.
Charles, if you want a reading, I can get one done for you if you want one. Amy or Carolyn, if you want a reading. Bobby, I'll get you, but let's get some of our chat gifts first.
Yeah, but we're gonna wait and see if Amy or Charles may want it. Yeah, what Charles says is correct. BHF and UHF is a line of sight thing.
So I remember when AM radio was it.
Oh my
we
god.
had UHF and BHF, like you're saying, and
well, when you talk about FM, it's mostly BHF, but when you talk about AM and shortwave, it's mostly HF.
okay, Amy wants one. Okay, I didn't see anyone else. Julie, I hope that those cards can help you with some kind of decision making or getting something done. All right, well, it looks like, I guess Amy is next then.
Yeah.
Is Carolyn still here? Carolyn, are you here? Do you want a reading? Okay, don't settle for less. Number 10. This is for Amy again. Trying to do this without clicking the screen off. Change is coming. This could be for everybody. I don't know. But this is for Amy, though. Number 7. Don't go off track here. All right. Pray from the heart, number 23. So without getting into it too much, it sounds like you have some decision making to do. And you have to do it from the heart, not your head.
Yeah.
And that might mean how many cable channels you have on your TV.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that you might need to tone it down a little bit. Heck, I'm the one that should talk about that. As far as how many channels I have. But they give me the option to have them, so. Okay, now. I think that'll work. So in case you're ever wondering, what I'm doing right now is I'm sizing it up just right. So when I send it to Amy, I can make it look the best. Well, you can see the whole thing there. Okay, it looks like it is. Okay. Good. Now we want to send that, I think, Skype, right? Let's see if I can do it on Skype this time.
Yes, Skype for Amy. If Charles wanted one.
Okay, Charles, I'll get you next.
I'm not sure Charles ring in. Charles never ring in. Hamlin never ring in.
Oh, I thought you said Charles wanted one. Let me know if that goes through.
Sure. Charles, I'm looking through the chat.
Did he go to sleep already?
I think he probably did, because I can confirm right now that he never responded.
Did we wear them out with all the game talk?
Yeah. So
Okay, good deal.
I think
That works.
yeah, as we mentioned, I don't think Charles wants one. I think Charles would hit the sack.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
He can get one if he wants anytime.
Yeah. I was able to finish listening to MWAT prior to the ice cream social. I mean,
Okay.
I was on mobile, and you could actually have the alternative chat room on mobile as well.
Yeah.
If you use if you use like Safari or Chrome or Edge.
I'm glad I was able to find a show that I missed the beginning part of it that you had the other day, Tuesday night, I think it was. Yeah. Positive podcast. And I had
Yeah.
missed the beginning of it for some reason. I was
Oh,
distracted.
housekeeping. Did you
And
want a reading, Charles? And I'm not sure if Hamlin wants a reading. I think Hamlin might have left.
dusting my broom.
So I'm just going to constitute that Hamlin was here.
Charles, if you want a reading, I'm more than happy to give you a reading. It's totally by chance, and I have no control on the cards. You're going to do what they do. So, and these aren't bad cards anyway. They don't have any bad readings.
Okay, Charles wants a reading.
You want one? Okay.
Yeah.
So we had one of those, we got our antenna that went on top of the house. I think we got it from Radio Shack. When Radio Shack used to be the place to get that kind of stuff. Right? And so this was a big, I can't remember what it was, the name of the company. I don't remember if Zenith made the antenna as well. Maybe. But it had the rotator thing on it where you use the dial. Now that one came up again, which is interesting, which shouldn't come up twice in a row. After I shuffle and shuffle and shuffle, and it wasn't twice in a row, but
Yeah.
or was it? Maybe it was. But anyway, you could aim it and get like the three main channels: ABC, NBC, and CBS. And the bad part is most of ours came from Hayward and Oakland, which was across the ridge, which was not the best way to do things then, but it was the only thing that we had. So anyway, we lived in the valley, and the ridge was, had to go over the ridge to get TV channel. Open up your spiritual gifts. I think we had to talk about this at one point. Number 21. This is for Charles. And we just had this one for Amy, I think. Change is coming, which is kind of weird. I did shuffle it like 6 times before I pulled it. And this one came out again. So, that could be anything. Could be the weather changing. I don't know. And that would have to depend on your situation personally. Okay, deeper insights are at hand. That could be the change. So if you look at these things here, you got open your spiritual gifts, open up to your spiritual gifts, and deeper insights are at hand, and change is coming. So you need to work on allowing and accepting your spiritual change. I'm not saying I'm right, but see if that doesn't go together. Read these cards when I send them to you, Charles, and you tell me if that isn't close to what I'm thinking. Which is you need to enhance your spiritual gifts that you have and embrace them. Don't be shy. Be careful. Be cautious. Don't be shy. You got one of the best teachers that are right near you. I'm not going to go into any naming names or anything like that, but we know who I'm talking about. And I'm sure that they would be willing to help you discover your gifts or to hone in on your gifts. So think about that one, and I think that would be a good place for you to start. And that's a change. It's in your spiritual situation.
Yeah.
So don't be shy. Don't be putting off your abilities. And you'll understand more when you do that, when you open up and you allow it to come in. So hey, check that out though, Charles. Tell me what you think. That's a good reading, actually. When you look at it that way. Oh, there you go. All right, let me know you get that one there, Charles. I sent it to your Skype. Should have worked. It worked for the other ones. So I'm finding a very difficult challenge to clean up these silver chains that are pure silver, or Italian, Italy. Silver from Italy, they're silver chains, and they got tarnish on them, of course, over time, obviously. And waited too long to clean them up, and now they don't want to shine like they're supposed to shine. They are silver. At least that's what's stamped on the clasp. I know the chain is silver, not just the clasp. The chain and the clasp are one, made from the same piece of silver. At least that's what it looks like. And it says the pure silver, whatever it's called, 9, whatever it is for the 9.999, whatever percent, whatever, pure silver, 925 maybe. In any case, yes, I'm having a hard time keeping it, getting it nice and shiny and clean. Okay, who's this one for then? Who's next?
I think Hamlin left.
No, there's Harlan.
Uh,
Harlan, would you like a reading?
No.
I'm dealing up some cards right now. You're right in time. No cost tonight. It's free. Well, minus the time we spent here, but we're doing this for fun. And actually, we're going to take that one that just popped out. Get it ever so carefully. Okay, we're getting it done. You just had, okay, then that one popped out right there. Look at that. Two of them just popped out by themselves. I don't know what the hell happened there. Well, that looks interesting. All right, so first, one for Harlan. Number 44, you will manifest what you need. just show you the picture. I'll send it. Do I have you? I can't remember if I have you on the messenger. Stay the course. That one should have been for Charles. Don't panic there. What his icon is on Skype. But this one is for Harlan. To stay the course. Harlan, yeah, I think I have you on Messenger, right? Okay. Be the real you. Okay. Let me get the pictures on these. Hopefully that helps. Oh. All right, now. Okay, I think that's right. Yep, that looks good. All right. Yep. Now let's see if I can find Harlan on the chat. I think on Facebook Messenger. Right? I've seen you there before. You might just type in your name, see if you come up. There you go. I got you. Tell me if you get it. Let me know if you get that picture, Harlan.
Oh. Can we use the bed bugs to actually prank some idiots that tried to do me wrong?
No bed bugs allowed here. No bed bugs needed. I have enough skin issues. I don't need any help from an infestation of bugs.
Oh yeah, I love to do that too, and with the Bumblebee song. Like
Okay, now.
if you don't know the Bumblebee song with that KFC, you need to listen to it. I think it was cute.
Now, Charles, going back to your era and your time frame, what was the earliest technological equipment did you remember that you thought, oh wow, this is cool? What was the first thing that came into your life, and how old were you when you saw it? All right, Bobby, this one's for you.
Okay, go ahead.
I think I got
Since
everyone
there's
else.
nobody else.
Yeah, I think I got everyone else in chat.
Mm-hmm.
I was shuffling these cards and I was thinking about your turn. All right, now we had this one for you before. This is interesting. The last one was interesting. I think even Julie had one for you like that. You'll see in a minute. All right, first we got this one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now this could be dealing with your mom or anyone that you might have lost recently or in the past. It doesn't have to be any time frame. If you lost anyone in your family and you miss them, remember they're wanting to help you with whatever you're dealing with, okay?
All right.
And that makes no difference if you believe in the communication of the spirits as we try to establish and discover every day, okay? I don't think that what we're doing is evil. I think what we're doing is trying to evaluate and understand what we're dealing with, okay? In my opinion, it's not worshiping them. It's not trying to worship anything other than God, and not trying to take anything away from the worship of God, okay? In my opinion, all right? What I'm trying to do is trying to establish who we're talking to. That's the first thing, or who's talking to us. How many times, Bobby, has our apps and our session brought up a topic or something that we've been talking about, right? And it's just been pretty right on recently. Okay, deeper inside, we just had this one, but what's interesting is it's for you as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So don't be shy about trying to ask your guide or God or whoever you want to ask, you know, what you need to know. And this one goes with what I think what Julie shared with you before. Open your heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice looking card too, isn't it? With the heart like that.
Yep.
I'll send those to you in a minute. Here, let me get that picture. So how does anyone think about my ability to do this reading stuff? Good, bad? You like it? Am I on key? Am I on point?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So what are you on the cards?
Does it help you?
Yeah, it will help. And even Julie will help you on a lot of stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for your reading today, Julie. That was good. Julianne. However you want to say it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get lazy.
Julianne is still here. When is the next time you're going to do these readings?
I think she does one almost every weekday. I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, this is for you, right, Bobby? Okay, let's see. That was good. All right. So now you go ahead and can read these on your own time and think about what they might mean to you. And that's why I like taking the picture and sending it to whoever I have contact with, because then you can enjoy to take the time and look at it and think about it and really go into more detail about what each one means. So how's everyone else? Everyone else like their reading? Good? I am mostly self-taught and with my own personal gifts and flair that I understand what I'm reading. Now, how did they work for you, Carolyn? Did they make sense to you? Are they? You don't have to go into detail. Just if they did make any kind of sense for you, that'd be amazing. Some of the things when I do a card reading, I already know from what I know about people on the internet, right? Oh, good. I'm glad to know that. And you got your new cell phone today. All right, good.
Yeah. What kind of new phone?
But as far as my gifts are, I've had my gifts a long time, but I never really used them for card reading. But I use them for other things. And when I learned I didn't have to use them for those other things, which was usually negative, I decided to start improving on the abilities to use them properly. You want some new cards? You want another reading, Julianne?
Yeah. But I think
Oh,
she
you want to get some new cards. You want to get some new cards to do readings. Okay.
yeah,
You need
like
some new cards. Got you.
like a
Yeah.
new set if she
Yeah.
can. Yeah, so for those who doesn't know, if you go to her channel that is seen here, you will be able to get free live and donation readings from our good friend Joanne. And she will be back tomorrow on Facebook at 8, well, 7, what time zone? Like, is it Eastern, Central?
She's on West Coast time.
So it's so if
Mhm.
it's so it is Pacific time,
If it's 7
it's
p.m., then it would be 2 hours
9 for
difference.
us.
Yep, 9
9
p.m.
for
for us.
us.
That's why I always say Eastern time zone, because then we'd have to figure that out. Then you get to figure that out. What was really hard was when Star was in Hawaii and I couldn't figure out Star's time zone. Uh, that was challenging. Okay, well, so let's all work on helping Julianne get a new deck of cards then. I did just not sadly, but spending money. I had bought a book from our friend Jessica Nichols that has a new book out, and I had bought the book bundle, the signature book, and it has some book stickers and markers or book whatever things for her. So I helped her out on her little book sale there that she has. And you want to check it out? Go check out her Facebook post that she has for the what is the name of the book? I can't remember. I have to wait till I get it. I have to wait till I get it here in a week or so. But it'll be autographed and it'll be the special books. Well, sure, we can help you with it, with the getting the word out and everything like that. That's not a problem. But with Julianne, though, let's help her get a deck of cards. So uh, she'll have to pick the ones that she wants, and then decide how to get the fundraising going. So that's what the community is about. It's about helping each other with things that we need. And cards is one of her things that she does for the community. So if we want to help,
Yeah. Pacific. Yeah. So
yeah. So be
so it's 9
7
o'clock
p.m. Be
Central.
7 p.m. Be 9 o'clock our time.
Yeah.
10 o'clock Eastern. Be 11 o'clock Amanda's time.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with everybody, and then Angie's time. I don't know, 6 hours difference from us. So yeah, I don't know. 7 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and then Andy is 6 hours difference from that, so he's like 4 a.m. But that happens. So yeah, that gets kind of confusing. Oh boy. Yeah, I have some. I don't remember where my dice are. I have a set of dice. I don't know how to read them though. That's why I don't use them. Cards I can read and pretty much go with the story of the person I'm talking to. But what I do when I do the card reading, though, and I said it before, I am a Christian. I believe in a God and the Christian faith. And sometimes they say, "Oh, the card reading is evil." Well, yeah, if I was using maybe the regular deck of tarot cards, maybe, because they do have some pretty negative things on those sometimes. But as far as these cards here that I use, angel card, I mean they're usually positive, right? They're positive. And I ask for guidance on the message to bring to you. Yeah, the dice you're talking about, you have uh they're I can't remember what they're called. They're yeah, my light just turned out. Don't worry about that. That's what time it's supposed to go out. But they're I don't know what you call them. Astrology dice or oracle dice. I don't know. But they have symbols. Some of them have these astrological symbols on them, and others have numbers. And so you'd roll the dice,
I'm
and
right back.
then you'd read. Then you'd read whatever the reading was on the dice, and that would be what you go by. Again, not knowing exactly what that all means, I don't mess with that. Just like I don't mess with the Ouija board or the spirit board. Uh,
I don't know.
okay. Computer assisted, but all original. What do you mean by that? I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, there's programs you can use online for the card readings, and I guess you could possibly get something out of that. Yeah, but I like the hands-on. We have 4 people in chat. Did everyone get a reading? I think so.
I think everybody did. Yeah,
Everyone
everybody
is here.
did.
Okay.
So I think we're good for now.
Okay, you don't see anyone on Facebook. I don't see anyone on Facebook.
No, I think there's somebody on Facebook.
Okay. Don't want to miss anybody.
Yeah, I was able to confirm we don't have anybody else.
Okay. So now when anyone participates in your reading abilities or gifts, you're welcome, Harlan. And you can ask me for a reading anytime. If you see me on Facebook and you say, "Hey, can I get a reading?" If I'm awake and I can answer you, we'll talk about a reading. So I do take donations, so remember that. Some people don't like to ask for donations. I started asking for donations. No, I haven't gotten any recently. So everything I do takes a good bit of money to get done, though, and I do all this usually for no pay. So I don't make anything on it, but sometimes you have to ask for some help along the way, and I don't think it's bad to ask for that, and I don't think it's bad to put that out there. I always thought it was kind of weird to hear a radio station, "Oh, we are listener supported," and they were asking for donations all the time. I thought, man, that doesn't sound right. But then I got thinking about, well, who's going to pay for the radio station if we don't? So kind of where I'm at right now. Oh yeah, spirit guides, yeah. Well, the spiritual activity is obviously transferable through the internet. Anyway, you guys understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when I'm talking about I'm reading someone's aura through the internet, that is something that is possible and is done. Okay.
Yeah.
And the last few times I've read some people's auras that were in the business, and they said that I was right on point with their reading.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, if you accept that these things are energies, what? Right. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. I read that part. All right. Well, we did all right tonight. We kept the peace, stayed respectful, and we didn't argue about nothing.
Hey, that's just
I think that's
yeah.
good.
And we're only about 85 minutes in.
I know we only got like 35 minutes left if we go until 2 hours, right?
Oh, we got a special request from Julie.
Huh? Oh, what birthday are you talking about?
Yeah, hers.
Your personal birthday, which is when, like in October sometime? I can't remember when that is.
Yeah,
Help
but
me
the
out.
bad news, Amy, she didn't get to go to Gettysburg. So even if I play it, it's going to be invalid.
No, we actually do pretty good, Harold. We try to stay free of any kind of discussion points that's going to cause arguments. Not always possible, but we do try. So Julie, um, this is a special reading for you. Talking about what now? She said something about
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think I got that song. If I did, it probably would still be on my computer. Never got a chance to play it. Yeah, I don't.
Okay, when was your birthday again, Julianne? Was it October? Something? I'm guessing. I don't know.
I don't have that song either, Amy. I'm sorry.
Julianne?
But let's focus on the reading. Can we just focus on the reading?
Yeah, we don't have that song. I don't know if we can play that song either.
Yeah, Amy, what you need to do is do a one drive of all your songs and make it possible to share on a cloud space of your choice, and we'll be able to download the library. Yeah, if you were off to do it that kind of way, it would be better. Yeah, we're gonna answer your question, Julie.
Julianne, we're doing that, but what is it again? October what?
Yeah, when is your birthday?
Do I have the right month? Excuse me. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Gotta get some poison here.
When it's going to happen on my birthday this year? But well, we need to know the birthday. I think that's what Ron's trying to ask. When is your birthday?
Not that it would really matter.
In about a month. In about a month.
September 9?
Yeah. 2 days before the tragic day had to happen.
Well, gonna have had this card earlier. Okay. All right, this is for Julie Ann's birthday in about a month. All right, so first card is yes, you are correct, number 38. First time I've seen that card for a while. All right. And Charles, to your point, I think we do pretty good at keeping things civil, even if we do disagree with our opinions. 17, it's time to play. Julianne, remember we were talking about having a pet? We were talking about that today. You remember that? I mean, I wasn't, but you were. We were talking about friends and relationships and having a pet. Stay the course, whatever the course is. We had that one earlier. So, I'm understanding this correctly. Whatever you have a question about, you're correct. Meaning that you had some struggle that you've been dealing with. And I would say your first suspicion is your answer. And that's where you're correct. Remember when you're taking a test and a lot of times the first choice you have on the answer is it? A, B, and C. A, B, and C, and if you have all the above, 90% of the time it's going to be all the above, right? Maybe not 90%, but you know what I'm saying. More so than not, it's going to be all the above. When you're looking at true and false questions, really depends on the topic and the type of test you're taking. But in general, I would say 60% of it's going to be true, and the 40% is going to be false. So you got to figure out which one is which. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, yes, you are correct on the first one. It's time to play. Maybe you get that fish. You were talking about getting a fish. At least then with a fish, you can leave them alone for a little while. You can go away. You don't have to worry about them dying for the most part. And then easy disposal if you have to. You know. Then stay the course. Be true to yourself. Be direct with what you want accomplished. Whatever that is. Getting your book out there. Be direct at your challenge. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, let me know.
Yeah. Well,
All right, hold on 1 second while I get this set up here. Get nice and neat. All right. Now, take a look at these cards, Julianne. Tell me if thinking about from now to a month from now, you're dealing with a personal issue that you were battling with on how to, I don't want to say the word attack, but how to approach the situation, whatever it is. We're not going into detail, But whatever it is that you're dealing with, you are correct with your first suspicion of whatever it is you're dealing with. And that's without going into detail. Only you know what that is. It's time to play. You've been under so much stress recently, dealing with life in general, and having to make some tough choices. It's time to be basically carefree and take care of your own well-being and not worry about everybody else. Now, that isn't to say to not take care of other people's needs. Obviously, you need to do that for your own energy as well. So, do it in moderation, baby steps. Take your time with it. But it's time to play. So relax. Take care of Julie a little bit. Let other people read for you. Let other people do things for you. Or if you need help doing something, get some help. All right? Okay, and then the other one is stay the course. That one, as something, if you're wavering on a choice to do something, you need to pick the best route. And from there, you will get your answer and your accomplishment. Now, let me know that you get that all right, and hopefully it goes through fine, no problems. That makes sense? I hope so. But yeah, so think about a pet. I know you like dogs. I know that. But maybe it's something you need to do something different. Cats you can leave alone. I mean, if you don't mind them tearing up your furniture, if then you'd have to go through that training process. And if you don't mind the furniture getting destroyed, cats are okay. The litter box, of course, you gotta clean the litter box all the time. Dog, you gotta take out all the time, weather or no weather. You gotta take it out all the time. And if you move to a summer location, summertime ain't gonna be any easier than wintertime. But at least I'd say if the cat, get a lot of people that like cats, so I mean that could be fun. And they're a good companion. For the most part, they're fine on their own. And just the break-in period is a little challenging. I don't like to have a cat or a dog or anything like that anymore. A cat would just chew through all my wires. I'd have to be replacing power cables or whatever, some kind of thing, all the time. And I prefer not to go through all that. Trying to train an animal to not do that. I'd lose it. A dog, you'd have to train it not to go inside. You have to take it outside all the time. And yeah, I don't want to do all that either. And plus, the cost of there's a medical issue. Heck, I have a hard enough time paying for my medical. So I can't validate the cost effectiveness of owning a pet, in my opinion. But in the case of anyone else, if you have time and you have the ability to pay for them, then yeah, get your pet. Yeah, maybe, Amy, that's possible. Well, thank you, Julianne. I'm glad I got it right. And that was your second reading, by the way. So that was well worth the effort to have that answer for you. So hopefully that was well placed, and it will come into focus for you when that day gets closer. Yeah, I mean, if you like a dog, then by all means get a dog. And if you can take them, sometimes when you travel, a lot of the hotels, you got to pay a little extra for the pet fee, but a lot of times the hotel will accept the pet. Make sure that's a possibility if you're going to go traveling. You take the dog with you, you know. I drive everywhere, so that's not a problem for me. But if you fly, a dog could be a problem. They can be if you train them correctly, Amy, in the early stages. My dog would never, until she got older, when she had issues, and she was 13 years old or so. She had kidney failure and all that kind of stuff, and she didn't suffer, not very long anyway. The vet told me I should put her to sleep, and very shortly after that, she ended up uh, going anyway. So, as far as I know, she didn't suffer very long. But she would never tell me she was in pain, though, so I wouldn't know. But she was waiting for me every day to get home, to go out whenever I got home from work. Then she would go out, and she'd do her thing, and come back, and she's fine. Never had any mess in the house. Yeah. So that was a good thing. So that was training her from 8 weeks old. So trained her when she was just a baby. 8 weeks old. I did most of the training. And like I said, with my dog, I was able to teach her hand signals. And I could teach her to stay and sit at the corner and wait for traffic to go by. Traffic would go by, and then she'd cross the street without a leash. And she could do all that without a leash. Oh, dice to select the card readings. Yeah, that could be. So now, Julie, let's. Okay, here's a question for you. Are you okay? First, are you in an apartment or a house? I think you're in an apartment, right? Or are you sharing a house with somebody? I think you're in an apartment, though. Just guessing. But apartment.
Yeah, I still have myself on mute because I was pushing the late night show on Peacock, and I forgot I
Oh,
still have myself on mute.
what's going on?
The break dancing.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's crazy. I don't know how that even made it.
I think I could still do the breaking.
Yeah.
At
They had something the other day I was watching. They had juggling. I didn't know what the hell that was about. What the hell was the juggling about?
I don't know.
They had the bowling pin things or whatever. They might not have been bowling pins, but they were that shape. And
I'm not sure that counts as Olympic sports, but yeah. But and the B girls, the B boys will be tomorrow. One,
so
the one that is like doesn't have a affiliation with a country. She was a refugee. She was disqualified for showing a political thing about Afghan women.
oh yeah, not supposed to do that. Nothing about war, nothing about aggressiveness or anything. Right. So anyway, Julianne, apartment or house? And I thought it was an apartment that you are in now. And if you could have a dog, would it be a small dog or a medium sized dog? Like Bobby's dog is a medium
It's like
size. About 35 pounds, right, Bobby?
uh more
30?
like a small to medium ish, but not as like big and stuff. He was not even supposed to get that big when he was a puppy, but he got like tall on the legs and
That's like Bill's dog Tycho. He was supposed to be a miniature husky, what they call a Pomsky. That's what he is, but that's what its registering papers say. And but the funny thing is, he's a little bit bigger than a small dog. But yeah, so um, Julianne, I don't know if you like small dogs like a terrier. I don't think you'd be a terrier type though. I think you're more like either a Shih Tzu, like what Cherie and Tony Rathman have. Uh,
one of my Twitch streamers just recently got a Maltese puppy.
oh, okay. So you share a house with somebody right now. Okay. But now, so if you have now Shih Tzu doesn't really play ball very well because you don't have a really big mouth, so they don't really do ball chasing or nothing like that. But if you have maybe like a collie, like a border collie, not a full size collie, but like a smaller border collie, which is like what I think Maureen has, something like that. Her reddish dog that was in the shot this last
Why
week.
does Yolanda always comes at the closing moments for about 10 minutes out?
Yolanda, what are you doing?
Yeah, we're about 10 minutes away, and you just showed up. I wonder why.
Yeah, you missed it. Well, before I put the cards away, would you like a reading? I'd ready to call it a night, but if you want one, I can do one. That's interesting. Okay, we had that one earlier, I think, as well. Okay, well, if you want one later in the week or whatever, let me know. If you like you need one, I can do it.
Yeah.
Yep, you can just message me and we'll take care of that. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. No worries, no worries. No worries at all. I kind of put those in the wrong way there. What am I doing? That's how tired I am.
You want a miniature schnauzer or a teacup schnauzer?
Okay. Well, that really got turned around wrong. I know that's gonna be backwards, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. That'll be right. Okay. Trying to get it going the same way that the lid is. It is. Yeah, good enough. Ah. All of a sudden, my allergies kicked up. Oh.
Yeah, I forgot I had myself on mute because you don't want to hear my phone when I was trying to push it to like the TV.
Hey,
Both
Genghis.
mine and another one that's coming in late. What's up, Genghis? So I can push it from the box or directly to the TV because both my television and my box has embedded Chromecast functionality. I can do it from the. So yeah.
Yeah, we had a little bit of rain earlier today. Maybe some might be raining now. I don't know. But it was raining earlier. I thought we just had cloudy. Looks like, yeah, says clear.
Yeah.
Doesn't show clouds or nothing. But it rained a
So
little bit earlier.
so we had so Genghis and Yolanda, sorry you have missed it. But we have Amy, Julie, Charles. I think Charles was there. Harun was there. So yeah, yes.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't do anything tonight. Well, we had a game discussion about childhood games. Most of the games that have over time been disqualified for safety issues. And so we
Yeah.
had fun discussing that without discussing current events, which I thought we did pretty good. So
Yeah.
kept everybody uh, on track, and I thought we did very well. So we need to keep working on that. And yeah, don't let this current event situation in the next few months get us all upset and riled up and frustrated. It ain't gonna help any. They're gonna
Yeah.
do what they're gonna do, and and that's anybody you might talk to in chat or whatever. If you don't like a show, you don't want to watch a show because of their topic. Like I watch Slacker 2 Alpha, and that's all they talk about is politics. Politics, politics, politics. That's all you talk about. That's their show, though. So, and I kind of been streaming their live audio from quite a while ago, and then they're doing other channels like that the same way. And that reminds me of just a little sound clip they use on one of the videos that they show of the different bloopers they have for different things, and they go through that with the answer. Politics, politics, something. That's all you talk about every time. Of course, that's what they do. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to talk about. But anyway, beyond all that, yeah, just keep our heads about it. And they're, like what Amy suggested before, how do we even know our vote, you know, really counts? We don't know that. All we can do is vote. We just got to put in our word and hope that it goes that way. Hope it goes the way that we want it to. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, it does. And that's whoever it is that we're trying to put a word in for. And I'm not choosing sides. I'm not telling anyone to share their side or anything. I'm saying, hey, let's work on keeping the peace and do what we can to make everybody at least share some positive thoughts and concerns and not have to worry about what we're really looking at, which is craziness. And this place is going to get crazy. The whole thing's going to get crazy. And it doesn't matter who wins, it's going to get crazy. So just be ready. Be ready for your own healthy stuff and what you need to do for yourself. Don't have to depend on anyone else if you can help it. And try to get through every day. Like Joey has one book that's called Every Day a Story of Its Own. So think about that one. I was talking about Jessica Knuckles' new book. I can't remember the name of it now. But I got it. And I learned about it. I mean, I heard about it before, and I saw the post that she shared on Facebook. And then Joey Medea had mentioned the book that she's going to be guest on his show on Thursday night. And so then I reached out to her, and I got the book ordered, and it's a signature copy as well. And so now I'll have her on after Joey has her on his show. Then I'll have her as a guest on my show, and we'll talk about her book. And I think we had Jessica Knuckles before, if I remember right. Or we were going to. I don't think we ever did. Maybe not. I don't know. I can't remember now. I know we had the other one, April Rutherford, we had on. Jessica, I can't remember. Jessica, I had a Jessica on, I thought. Someone that was named Jessica. Who was it? Wasn't Knuckles. No. I don't know, Bobby. Help me out. What do you think?
What are you talking about?
We had a Jessica on, but I can't remember the name.
I forgot too.
We had April Rutherford on. I know that.
Yeah.
But Jessica, I can't remember if we had her on as a guest or we were going to. I don't think we ever made that. We'll make it work this time, though. We better. She has a new book. So, but anyway, she'll be a fun guest. And she was a guest on 3 Beards. I know that for at least once or twice. But anyway, Craig will be on Dimensions of the Supernatural coming up on Thursday. Craig Ansel will be Marine's guest. And I thought it was interesting to know a little bit more about her husband, even though I met him in person at Gettysburg a couple of, not this year, but last year.
Yeah.
And he's a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm not that small, and I'm telling you, he makes me look like I'm tiny compared to how big that he is. He's like 6'3" or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah. So once again, Yolanda and Genghis. We got Julie, Charles, Amy, if you're still here, thank you. Heroin, if you're still here, thank you. And
yeah,
I think, yeah,
I think
Charles, yeah, we still had Charles. So as
yeah,
previously mentioned, Yolanda, Genghis, Julie, Charles, Amy, and Heroin were, thank you.
all right. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend, and next week I hope everything is peaceful and everything's going good. And anyone that didn't get a reading, if you want one, please reach out and let me know. You got me on Messenger. You got Bobby on Messenger. You can get a word to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be more than happy to do a reading for you. Just let me know. And yeah, Julie, I hope that what I suggested was good, and hopefully you can find the right companion to work with you wherever you're living at. Okay. All right. So for now, Bobby, go ahead and put a couple of promos up there.
Yeah, let's go.
Uncle, I'm trying to do a show.
The pros reminding you that you should listen in launching the Errt Radio on your favorite device on Mixer, Podbean, YouTube, Facebook, Treble, Odyssey, and Rumble. And go on to ertradio.com, hit the PayPal button. You receive this nice squares hat for $40 while supplies last. Because if you do not, I'll call my bumblebee. I will beam you up and you better pray to your God because you know what's going to happen to you and your wallet. Thank you.
And that is not my car. That is a car that was at an auto show that we had in town here. And I happened to get a picture of it because I like the yellow and black. And it was a Mustang Mach 1, 1970. So there you have it. Truth is out. That wasn't really my car.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're out of here. Thank you for joining us, and I hope that you can come back again and be with us and enjoy the readings if you enjoy card readings or any kind of intuition things that we can help you out with without being too personal. And we do this for entertainment and educational purposes only. We are not professionals or medically licensed to do anything. So don't. Hey, Nisova. Yeah, next time, if you do want a reading it sometime during the weekend or the week next week before we do our Friday show, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do one for you at another time. And thank you for showing up. And but yeah, we're out of here for now. I know there's a lot of stuff happening and a lot of things that everybody could be watching other than this. And so that's fine that you're here now. But be here next time at 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll be here. All right. No matter what's on, we're here. No matter what. Sometimes it's just us talking, right, Bobby?
Yeah, that's it.
So, but then sometimes it's good. We get a good turnout. So just try to remember we're here no matter what. Unless we have internet problems, then we're not here. But as long as
Yeah.
we have connection, we'll
Yeah.
be here. All right, so we're out of here. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.
Yes. Thank you for watching.